And thank you so much for joining me again on another video with Papa Genius on urban politics. And today's message is a little bit late, but it is about a very popular subject, and it's about Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife, Dr. Karri Bryant, and her controversial dress that she wore to the United Negro College Fund fundraiser that did raise up a considerable amount of money. However, the dress drew more attention than the cause, and also to the message that she represents, which is of Jesus Christ. And when a dress or anything rises higher than the message of God, that means that you made a wrong fashion choice. as a representative of a church, of a ministry, of the kingdom of God, you have to take that L because you made a wrong decision. And I think the appropriate thing would have been to make an apology and ask for her church and the people that support them around the world that don't attend their ministry for a bit of if they could have just given you a bit of grace, because we're all human, we make mistakes, and not to defend the mistake, not to defend the fact that this was not an appropriate garment for someone who is also a former pastor herself, a person of the cloth, someone who is a doctorate. She has a doctorate and a professor, and one that holds such a heavy mantle. This was not appropriate. Now, I want to hear some more of these videos and people's comments, and you're going to also see what really sparked this off in regards to how other men of the cloth felt about her attire, and how Bishop Jamal Bryant was also looked at.
Look at this picture and tell me, is it an appropriate outfit for the First Lady of the church? So this is Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife, Dr. Karri Turner Bryant.
It's a floor-length dress. I don't want people to think that it stops right at her thighs.
Listen,
like, it goes all the way to the floor.
I don't care if it goes across the room.
Okay.
That dress right there.
Is that appropriate for the First Lady of a church? So she wore this dress with her husband, the pastor, to a UNCF fundraiser.
Mm-hmm. United Negro College Fund, in case you don't know.
Raised a ton of money. Mm-hmm. And people started talking about the dress because that's what social media does.
Right.
And there was a lot of discussion and criticism. Do you think that the dress is appropriate?
If the pastor's fine with his wife dressing like that, then let her live, man. That's what I'm saying.
He made it part of his sermon that Sunday.
Right. So if both of them are cool with it, let them live. Right now, from me looking at her,
right.
Sheesh. It brings your attention to all those places the pastor probably doesn't want you looking at his wife.
Pastor's wife's beautiful.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
And accomplished. That's Dr.
Right,
Karri
that's what I'm saying.
But it's not see-through. That's like flesh-colored fabric.
Right.
So, it's not like she's necessarily revealing, but...
So Alex pointed out that the pastor had some strong responses when this went viral and people started talking.
So just a little backstory. I grew up in a household of pastors. My mom was a pastor, my dad was a pastor, and so I grew up in the culture of the church, and especially the Black church. And there's just certain things that are not acceptable. And it doesn't make you a bad person. However, there's always this understanding that to much is given, much is required. And so, your friends might be able to go out and party and have a good time and drink and smoke, but you know what? You have a different calling on your life, so you can't do the same thing. And I can go and try and do it, but the results are going to be far more crucial for me versus them. And Dr. Karri Bryant, she came into this marriage with a little bit of controversy when we first learned about her, because Pastor Jamal Bryant was already popular. He was already well known within the Black circles. And when we first found out about her, at least I did, through this podcaster, this famous YouTuber, Tasha K. And they had sparked off this signal that she's a BBL pastor. Because a lot of her attire that she wore on her social media just didn't look appropriate for a pastor. So this is Tasha K, and she was the one that even said that she allegedly saw them out somewhere and she didn't even think their behavior was appropriate, being that they were not married. And so he finally did propose to her, and he is the pastor of New Birth Baptist Church in Atlanta. And if you know anything about New Birth, it's always had a lot of controversy. It's a beautiful church. It is a predominantly black church, but it was founded by the late Bishop Eddie Long. And Bishop Eddie Long was a very knowledgeable man. He had a great support system, his first lady, and a great church. He had a lot of very well-known celebrities that went to his church. However, he dealt with a lot of controversy in regards to having like a supposed secret life. And this secret life got exposed, and allegedly he had been accused of having a side life with homosexuality. He had several men that corroborated their stories and had proof, and it caused so much controversy that he had to step down as the leader of that house. And then not too long after that, unfortunately, he did pass due to I think cancer. And so this church has always had like this hovering of just news and tabloids, and these are the new leaders that came in for a short period of time as interim leaders after Bishop Eddie Long passed and him and his wife stepped down. And then later on, Bishop Jamal Bryant came in, and Bishop Jamal Bryant was a very popular bishop, civil rights leader in Maryland. And the lady in the middle, her name is Giselle Bryant. Giselle Bryant, if you don't know her, she's also a very famous, popular person. She's one of the cast on Real Housewives of Potomac on Bravo Network. And there was a lot of people that were not always fans of him because of Bishop Jamal Bryant. He has some controversy about himself. He has several different baby mothers, and a lot of those women have not been his wives. And also too, this was during a time where he was a man of the cloth. He's having all of these outside babies, but people still support him in that church. And so now his new wife, Dr. Karri Bryant, who is very educated, very successful and all of that, and outside of their marriage, Bishop Jamal Bryant has also been the spokesperson for the national boycott movement against Target, with them dropping their DEI initiative after President Trump got elected and inaugurated into the office. What they did was they did a whole 180 on Black Americans, when a lot of Black American dollars supported their establishment. Now, this dress has kind of overshadowed all of that. And it's definitely overshadowed the message of God. It was so popular that the dress and the controversy ended them on the Tamron Hall show, where Tamron Hall gave them a platform to talk about what went on, the decision to wear the dress, and how this came about. And a lot of individuals felt as if instead of Dr. Karri Bryant eating a little bit of humble pie, they felt as if she embellished it even more.
Did you have even a sliver of doubt before you walked out to go to the event about the dress and that it might create a stir?
People have said, oh, she knew it would get this reaction. My ego is not that big. Wow. I don't dress for people. I dress for myself and for my husband. I am a wife. Yeah. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I have a doctorate, I'm a professor. There are plenty of things that I do. And the challenge is we often want to see a woman be one-dimensional. I am multi-dimensional. I carry multiple titles. Now, what you choose to call me on whatever day is fine for whatever that might be. But I think that there is this idea that a woman can only be one thing. And once I happen to marry a pastor, I happen to fall in love with a man who is a pastor, right? And so with that came the title of First Lady. But there is no book for that. There is no manual for what that looks like. And I have decided that the title does not define me. I define what the title is.
That she says that there's no manual, there's no book on how to be a first lady. When yes, there is. I mean, this is the reason why you're in operation over a church. Proverbs 31 is one guide for women on how they need to conduct themselves accordingly. And it says 31 and 25 of Proverbs says she's clothed with strength and dignity, and she can laugh at the days to come. Her charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. And you know, I think that the dress was not dignified. Point blank, period. She can, you know, she can campaign. She can wave her flag of, you know, I've worn dresses similar to that. I didn't look as good as she looked in it. But I've worn dresses like that, and still at the same time I would consider myself to make sure that it's appropriate, so that when I step out or I'm with someone or if I'm by myself, it's not a controversial thing. And so Bishop Patrick Wooden, who's a very famous bishop as well, he had a lot to say about this.
I thank God that she dresses like a first lady. I thank God. I thank God for that. The lowering of standards are amazing. A preacher presented his wife the other day, and I guess you call that a flesh-colored dress. I don't know. It's black dress and flesh color. It gives the illusion that she's not wearing anything underneath. And I heard the preacher, when he defended her dress, by saying, first of all, he bought the dress. And then he said, I want to address people who don't know anything, who haven't been anywhere, who don't know nothing. So I guess our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore. Two. At least two. Now, I didn't say she was. I'm not talking about her. My statement is not about her. My statement is about him. I said he presented his wife, and he said he bought the dress. Those are his words, not mine. And there is nothing classy about that. There's nothing modest about that. He said we haven't been anywhere. What I would like to know is where have you been? Where did he go? So I'll make sure that I never go there.
So basically, those were shots fired after the response of Bishop Jamal Bryant, and what in his response to the church community on the controversy of this dress. And he wanted to make sure that it was known that no matter what Bishop Jamal said, that there was no excuse for his wife to be presented to the public in this way. So this is the message that Jamal Bryant initially made, which caused the other pastor, Bishop Patrick, to respond.
I needed to deal with it head on. Because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people, because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color.
She walks out of the room in the dress.
Yes.
Before the event, was the first time you saw her in the dress?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Why do we need to leave?
Look at this brother here. Look at this brother here. See, that's why you don't have your girl dressing like that around your partners. Your partners be sizing your lady up. Yeah, look at him. Jamal had to get behind her. Yeah. No, the partner gonna be looking at that rump shaker. Yeah. Yeah, that's what your partner's gonna do. They'll look at your girl and size her up. That's why you gotta have her dress modesty. Especially around your partners who got lust on them. That dress causes all kind of lust. The Bible said, put out a stumbling block in front of your brother. She put a stumbling block in front of her brother.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. That was a little silly right there. But it's a good ending to put on this video, because really what she did was she decided to get a dress that was very closely related to lingerie. And there's two reasons for this. The first reason is, like I said earlier, Pastor Jamal Bryant, he has a bit of a past. And even his first wife said that the reason why, this is not alleged, this is what she said, the reason why her and Jamal did not work out so many years ago, because they had 3 children together, okay? They have the perfect type of setup to have a successful marriage. And the reason why she ended her tenure of marriage with him, and she also used to be the first lady of their church in a different location, is because she said he was a cheater, pumpkin eater, and he liked to hide his salami. That's what she said. Now, as I stated earlier, Jamal has a ongoing history of not being faithful. Okay, he's a eloquent speaker. He's great as far as organizing people in regards to like these leadership movements for the boycotts or against Target. However, I think that there is an issue there when it comes to him being faithful. And when a woman at her age, as Dr. Karri Bryant, his current wife, a woman at her age, okay, I'm not saying she's very, very old, but she's seasoned, for you to have to come out in public to wear a dress like that, that means that you're trying everything you can. You're trying to pull all the bags out, all your tricks out the bag to make sure that he keeps his eyes on you and you only. I do believe that there is a sense of insecurity there with that dress. Not that she's an insecure person, but that she is not 100% secure in that marriage, knowing that her husband will not stray away. A second reason why I think she did that, it is because it gave an opportunity for another designer to be able to put their work out there. And a lot of people do that. A lot of celebrities, a lot of socialites do that. That's great, fine and dandy. But you have to be careful of your brand, being that you are an oracle for God. And to much is given, much is required. That dress became bigger than the message of Jesus Christ. The platform she was on Tamron Hall's show, that show goes all around the globe. Now, can you imagine if she had to answer to God today, if Jamal had to answer to God today, and God asked them, what did you say about my kingdom on Tamron Hall's show while you had the ear of the world? What did you say for my glory? What could they really possibly say? They couldn't say anything because the dress became bigger than the gospel. Please let me know what you think. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you for taking your time to watch videos and to like and to leave comments. I definitely enjoy, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.